Lando, thank you for having me. This is not a bad office, is it?
Not bad at all. I'm just about getting used to coming in every morning, but I love it here.
Now, I want to ask you, we've had this 3-week intense back-to-back races.
Yep.
What have you been doing in the downtime? Donuts, golf, gaming?
But all of it, really.
Okay.
I mean, I've not been home the whole time, so it's nice now being able to go back home. Enjoy the sunshine while it lasts for not much longer. But yeah, variation of things, I guess, especially in a week or 3 weeks, which are so busy. It's just as important trying to get that downtime in on Monday, Tuesday, enjoy some time relaxing with some friends or playing golf, whatever it is.
DJing, I see as well.
It's my new hobby, something I just got into. So yeah, just doing some different things, but relaxing. And so then when I get back to the racing, I can go full focus again.
Great. Well, talking about racing, we're about to head back to Singapore for the first time since 2019. How much are you looking forward to it?
I'm very excited. Singapore is one of my favorites of the whole season. Obviously, I only drove there back in 2019, and as like a qualifying track, it's one of the best of the whole season. It's a night race, night quali. Extremely difficult track. It's going to be even more in these cars, which are terrible over the bumps and the bouncing and porpoising, all of these things. It's in a way not going to be nice to drive, but at the same time, it's one of the most difficult to put together. It's 24 corners or something. So nailing a lap here is extremely difficult, but when you maybe get close to doing that, it's a cool achievement and feels amazing. And just the whole event, a night race, Singapore, it's a lot of fun.
So would you say that it's one of your favorite events on the calendar?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. Well, the last time you raced there, which is also the first time you raced there in 2019, you finished 7th.
Mm-hmm.
You've also, fun fact, finished 7th in 5 of the last 6 races this season.
Mm-hmm.
So what can the fans expect from you in Singapore?
Probably another 7th. I mean, I would hope for a little bit better, but we'll see. We just got those top 3 teams ahead of us, quite a way ahead of us at times. So it's hard to break the P7 streak. I think there's been a couple of opportunities to do a little bit better. Zandvoort probably should have finished 6th ahead of Fernando. Monza.
Great opportunity there.
Should have finished 5th, at least 6th. Should have finished 5th if we nailed everything. But we didn't, So I think there's been those opportunities to do a little bit better and sometimes beat a Mercedes and beat the cars which are just struggling behind the top 3, 4, 5 cars. And I'm hoping Singapore will be that opportunity. It's a great qualifying track, difficult racetrack. Mm-hmm. So if we can get a good qualifying in, then hopefully that sets us up for some good points.
Okay, well, you just touched on it there. Tough track, but there's only a fortunate and talented few who know what it's like to race on the streets of Singapore.
Yeah.
So for those at home, can you put us in the car and tell us just what it's like?
It's one of the most stressful tracks, just because there's so many opportunities to crash and to make very costly mistakes. It's like Monaco in some ways, but generally a lot more bumpy. You have more high-speed sections, and it's just a lot more corners, so therefore more opportunities for it to go wrong. So pushing at this limit, and especially the races normally go like a little bit chilled at the start because it's difficult to overtake, so everyone kind of falls in line, wants to look after the tyres. Then you get to the pit stop window, and that's where all of a sudden you go from maybe feeling a little bit relaxed to going all out and like having to nail every lap, every corner. It's one of your few opportunities to maybe gain a position or 2 positions, whatever. And that's when it's just pretty stressful. You're sweating because of the humidity, the temperature. We tend to lose 3-4 kilos of fluids through the whole race. So physically, it's very stressful. And then you're pretty much racing to the end. You're giving it all. You're hoping for sometimes safety cars and VSCs to take advantage of. But it's just your head has to be so in the zone, and as soon as you relax or you lose that little bit of focus, before you know it, it's too late.
Okay, well, you touched on the heat and the humidity a little bit there, but how do you prepare for that type of challenge? And I also have a question. You guys obviously have new race suits all the time.
Yeah.
What happens to your race suits after Singapore? Do you reuse them? Do you wash them?
I hope not. So how do we prepare? I think the main thing is I go out there a few days early. So I'll be out already Monday, or fly Sunday, so I'll be there Monday.
Okay.
So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to acclimatise a little bit, get used to the temperature, go for some runs or a cycle ride, just to get a little bit used to everything. Before then, like if you're here in the UK or in Monaco, doing your running or cycling or whatever, but in temperature. So wearing joggers, hoodie, thermals, just something to get their body temperature used to probably going quite high, and performing at that level, you know, constantly for 2 hours, full focus, all of that, you know. It's not easy to go from other races and just going straight into it, because it is quite different for your body. So doing anything you can to get a little bit used to those scenarios is very important. I forgot the second part of your question.
Race suits.
Oh, the race suits. Yes, we normally have race suits, I think 2 or 3 races. They usually then go to a very lucky person, or unlucky, because if they're very sweaty and smelly, then maybe not so nice, and that's probably going to happen in Singapore. So I try to keep some of them, at least steal some of them. I'm not normally allowed to keep them, so I steal them if I can.
Well, all your secrets are out the bag now. So.
I know, I've lost it. They'll tell me off now, but yeah, they normally go to someone lucky. So.
Okay. Well, another unique point of the Singapore track is that, you know, we do a lot of races at dusk type conditions. This is one of the only races on the calendar that are at night, under lights. How different is that?
I mean, it makes you feel like you're going a lot quicker.
Does it?
Just because of all the lights, you know, especially on a narrow circuit, you've got all the big lights everywhere. Just them going past you constantly makes you feel like you're going a lot quicker. So even when you do the, you know, FP1, FP3, they're more towards the daytime. You know, I think like 4, 5, 6 o'clock or something. So you have them and it's quite light. And then you get to the evening, it's dark, you're out for FP2 or qualifying. And even if you do like the same lap time, you feel like you're gone a lot faster. So when you do actually go even quicker because you're going low fuel or new tires, you feel like you're going twice as fast. And it takes a little bit for your mind to actually get used to that. All the lights flashing past, and for your vision to get used to those types of things. So it feels extremely fast and extremely quick, especially when you're getting super close to the walls and you're finding that limit. It's an amazing feeling.
Sounds amazing. I'm very envious now. Okay, I want to ask you, looking forward a little bit to next year, with the news of Oscar Piastri joining the team. Does that put any pressure on you? Because I know you're one of the youngest drivers on the grid, but you are going to be the oldest in the team and the most experienced in the team. So does that put any responsibility on your shoulders?
I think there's always a lot of responsibility, no matter what period of time you're in. I guess being a slightly more experienced driver, then there is that little extra bit where you can refer back to previous years or previous cars and know what the weaknesses and strengths of your cars are and things like that. So using reference points is always a good thing for a team, because they know like we should avoid this because that was bad last time and so on. I always treat it as there's a lot of responsibility, but I think in a time where we're still trying to develop massively, all comments are good. And from, I guess, very different drivers as well. I don't know Oscar that well. We spoke on every now and then and a couple of times, and I welcome him into the team and so on. I don't even know what his driving style is, but having 2 different drivers and the more different driving styles you can add to it, everyone's going to have like a comment, which is good and can really have a good impact, and the team can focus on and things like that. So I wouldn't say it makes me any more nervous or anything.
But would you say you're looking forward to being the old guy in the team?
Probably not. I think it's going to be my first time. I'll be the oldest in my team. I've always been racing people older than me. Yeah. So this will be the first time I'm the old guy.
Exciting. Okay, lastly, there is a chance that Max Verstappen might win the championship in Singapore.
Yeah.
What do you think of his season so far?
Quite easy. He's done a pretty good job.
His season's been quite easy, or your
answer's his season's been easy. Yeah, he should maybe have a go back in our car and see what it's like. So he's done amazing. Yeah. Very impressive, of course. You know, similar to Lewis in previous years, when you've got a car that can deliver and can win races, he's the one taking those opportunities. You know, and he's beating his teammate every time. But it's impressive to see day in, day out. Even like FP1, FP2, FP3, he's never under the limit. He's always pushing the limits. And
even out laps.
Even like FP1, first lap of the whole day, his lap times are normally like quicker than what we ever do in qualifying sometimes. So yeah, he's one of the most talented drivers ever to come into Formula One. One of the fastest. So no doubt he's going to win his second this year, and most likely go on to win a few more in the future.
But people have a lot of great things to say about you as well, and everyone thinks that you're a extreme talent as well. So what is it like seeing all these guys that you karted against, you know, doing really well, like Max, for example? Are you just biding your time?
I mean, you have to. I don't think you can do too much else. You can't really complain and do that, you know. I still have an opportunity in Formula One. I still feel like when I finish P6 or P7, sometimes I've driven the best race of my life, or I've done the best lap in qualifying and I'm P8 or P9. And you have to realize like that was your goal and your objective for the day. Is have you done the best lap you could have done? Have you put everything together? And if you have, like, that's what you've got to be happy with. No matter if it's for P10 or P5, P6, whatever. You kind of got to realize that a bit more in Formula One. I think that's part of going into Formula One, is sometimes you've got to know you might not win a race for 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 years. And your opportunity might come in 12 years even, or something like that. So it's, I guess, frustrating at times because you feel like you deserve more at certain periods. No matter how much hard work you put in and so on, you have a guy that can have the easiest race and chill for the whole race and win a race. And then there's you sweating and having the hardest race of your life and finishing P8, you know. So never hard feelings against anyone else because they're probably deserving to be in that position. And you just have to have faith that in a few years or whatever, a few races, you'll have your opportunity.
Well, the good news is you've got a couple of years ahead of you. And
I hope a lot more.
in the meantime, I'm wishing you the best of luck for Singapore. Hopefully better than P7, maybe P5?
Bet.
Good.